always wish there was a harmonica attachment for cell phones. That way you can just be like...
There has to be a phone case that has it.
I mean, I don't even know how they would work like a...
Oh yeah,
like a USB one. That'd be cool. That way you like actually try like record it too.
But doesn't the air need to come out?
Yeah, that's why it'd have to be like a USB one. Like have to like synthesize it based on your air blowing. I don't know.
Blowing's a good place to start because we're talking about the Sony conference now.
Which didn't blow.
I was gonna say it blew out our buttholes, but
blew out our buttholes.
Yeah,
they fucking nailed it.
Yep.
Our buttholes. Would I say it's as Nirvana inducing as last year's? No.
Yeah.
But
what will be?
They didn't. What would be? But I think for the first time ever, like they just did a tight ass like thing where they just said like, why do we do hour-and-a-half long things?
Yeah.
Let's just show the fucking trailers.
Yeah.
They'll speak for themselves. People like. I mean, we're in a world where people watch people do Let's Plays. Some of them silent. They're just long plays. We should put the footage up on stage.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. No narration.
Yeah.
No guy you've never heard of talking over the game.
And for the stage, we're just gonna have live orchestration.
Yeah. The whole thing's gonna have live orchestration.
Yeah.
Which just like, in a way, like it just upped up the entertainment factor and made you feel like you were there a little bit.
Yeah. Like this was a good conference, and by virtue of being almost the only good conference, it is the best conference of E3.
Yeah.
And that's not, and Microsoft's number 2, I would say. They had a good conference, just most of their shit got leaked.
Yeah,
but...
so Sony, from the get-go, it was like, a dude walks up to a full orchestra, and it's like, okay, they paid a lot for this.
Yeah, and he looks like that. He looks like that dude who wrote Chronicles.
Oh, Max Landis.
Yeah, he looks like Max Landis.
Max Landis comes out to lead this orchestra. They're at the Shrine Auditorium.
Yeah, and he goes off on an hour-long rant about Superman.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
The death of Superman.
Yeah.
It's that Shrine Auditorium. They haven't been there a long time.
Yeah.
It's a fucking beautiful place.
Yeah, beautiful.
Music starts playing. We're like, wow, this is going a little long.
Mm-hmm.
You turn over to me, you go, hey, man, is this God of War?
Yeah, and I played a demo of God of War 3, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I ever played.
And I started listening a little closer, and I'm like, it could be, but it's definitely, like, it's Norse. It's got that Norse sound. And the game starts, and we see a kid playing with toys on the fourth floor. And I'm like, it's Horizon. I try to fucking,
And I was like, okay.
I try to call it. I'm like, it's Horizon. Like, they look the same. They're wearing the fur, the pelt. Kid walks inside. He's talking to some figure in the dark. And...
It was at this point, he didn't even walk into the shot yet.
Yeah, he wasn't...
And you were just like...
I heard a voice.
Yeah, you heard a voice, and you were like...
And it wasn't Kratos.
Oh.
And it isn't Kratos, actually.
Right.
It's a different actor. I hear a voice... And then there's something he said. I don't remember what he said. And I go like, dude, turn up the volume. This is fucking God of War. Shit's about to get real. And shit did get real.
Yeah.
For me, this is what... Before I go off on this fucking rant, I just want to say, it's so pleasant to be surprised by something you never knew you wanted.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like...
Because it's like a question got answered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a question you never even asked.
It's a scratch that got itched.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That you could never reach.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good analogy here, but...
because I told you, like, the concept art leak, it's
You figured out you like a finger in your butt. Never even thought about it, but one time you sat down and you're like, hey, hold on a second.
Hey, this is not so bad.
There you go. That's the only analogy you can come up with.
Thank you. That one's the most fitting.
Okay.
Hey, got it.
Yeah. Like a glove.
No, it's just like, I know it's Norse. That's cool. I want new mythology.
Yeah. Somehow Kratos can pull off a beard. Didn't know he could.
Kratos looks great in a beard. Yeah. Great in pants.
Yeah.
He used to wear like a skirt thingy with like just bandages for underwear.
Yeah.
And he walks out of the shadows, and just like a million questions, like, is this Kratos? He looks like Kratos. What the fuck is going on? I thought this was Horizon. And the demo just starts, and finally we're seeing a demo. We're seeing a game demoed correctly.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah, and it was literally what, half hour after? An hour and a half. Like after you had said like nobody can demo these things correctly.
Yeah. And it's live orchestration. And like they pull out and they're showing us from 4 different angles. Like what? Why are they doing this? And it's like, oh, there is a reason, because like they're reminding us this is live orchestration.
Yeah.
Like they're showing the crowd. Like when Kratos stepped out of the shadows, and I know I'm probably wrong about this, it felt like the first genuine pop. Like we had that fucking lady at the Bethesda conference that was clearly drunk and paid.
Oh yeah.
And for the first time, when Kratos walked out of
that was crazy to me that, like, you know, last year Bethesda got, like, legit reactions, and then all of a sudden, like, we got, like, you know, some loiterers.
Yeah, yeah. Some, like, really loud loiterers. So, like, with that, it was, like, the camera's up close, the game looks great.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what we're about to see.
Yeah.
But there's all this detail.
And it's all working as this great hype. It was a slow build for the whole conference. It was amazing.
Yeah. In a way, you're almost going like, shit, what the fuck's the closer?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I think you legitimately were like, they opened with this. What the fuck are they going to
close with? Yeah. Like, what else do you have? And there's a part of me that's just going like, just so people know, like, I'm a God of War fan. I get the criticism about him being this one-note character. Like, I just recently played the 2 PSP titles, and the voice director literally told him to scream every line. Like, I mean, like, I'm not joking. Like, he'll enter a room and go, like, who is there?
Oh, so he probably sounds like Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
It's like, everything sounds like this.
Yeah,
and it's just like, why?
Yeah. So I get those criticisms, but for me, playing through that mythology and the spectacle was really fun. You have character action games out there, and each of them gives you something different. Devil May Cry is about style. Ninja Gaiden is about blocking, parrying, and overcoming your opponents through patience and skill.
And doing some fucked up shit to them.
Yeah.
Off their heads.
All of these games have that. They're character action. Bayonetta just like takes all that shit and pushes it to 11.
It adds the sex thing to it, the dominatrix vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God of War, you can do one combo the entire fucking game and beat the game.
Yeah.
But it has one thing the other ones don't have. And it's a story that you can actually follow. Now I know people out there going like, dude, you don't know about Bayonetta, about how the Angels of Niflheim went against the Umbra, and like, cool, you guys got it.
Yeah.
I can't sit through.
Umbran Witches, by the way.
Umbran Witches.
Yeah.
I played both of them. One of them with this dude. This dude knows more than me. Yeah, I played Bayonetta through twice. Second playthrough, I couldn't sit through the cutscenes. I just could not. I'm sorry. Sorry to everyone out there. I love Platinum, whatever.
And the thing is, the characters are good. It's just the shit they're saying doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, like, God of War sort of scratches that character action itch, but it's also a story you can follow. Like, it makes sense. It's coherent. And that's all I wanted from the new God of War. New setting, better graphics, bring me the spectacle, the blood, the gore. And you can let him scream or whatever.
And I actually cared about this one. The last time when God of War 3 was announced, I think, I was like, whatever. Yeah. Like, and there's actually something too. I was like, something's different about this. I can't put my finger
right
on
off the bat. The camera, yeah, like the camera never pulled.
Yeah,
and he had full control of it.
And I do have to say though, when you thought it was Horizon. It's interesting. I can imagine Kratos being in Horizon.
Yeah.
Like the aesthetics fit now. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
More on Horizon later on.
Yeah. It's just on the horizon.
Yes.
Zero Dawn. I'm going to spend some time.
You burped afterwards.
I'm going to spend some time on this. And you guys want to skip? You guys can skip because for me, it's the.
I could put up an annotation.
It's the game. It's the game of the show for me. You know, we'll talk about Zelda later. But, like, for me, seeing what they were doing in terms of, like, emotion, so, like, I read up on a lot about it, you know, what's going on. So, like, if anyone's got questions, it is Kratos. It's definitely Kratos. He somehow found himself in Scandinavia, And the way mythology works, or history works, or whatever, is like there's a Viking Age, there's migration and pre-migration.
All right.
And this takes place during pre-migration, where the Vikings actually believed that Thor, Odin, and Loki walked amongst man.
Okay.
So I think it's Midgard.
Okay.
It's just this is when trolls and other shit were on Earth.
Yeah. Now I know I asked this before. You're sure it's on his brother Barbados?
It is not Barbados, but who knows what happens in a game like this.
Okay.
So, right off the bat, people are like, kid's gonna die, Kratos gets angry again, or Kratos will die, we play as a kid.
Yeah.
The director said, it's full on, you're Kratos the whole time, and the whole point of the game is to raise this kid. And what it's about, really...
Putting a goal in that perspective, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, because you're taking a character that was one note, you're giving him
so much nuance.
That's on him, like figuring out that, like, all men are created equal.
Yeah.
That's past that. It's like he loves somebody.
Yeah.
Like, and he's going to take care of them and raise this kid. Like, that's...
And this is coming after he tried this once, mm-hmm. and it ruined him.
Mm-hmm.
He had a daughter, he had a wife, and the gods promised him glory and tricked him into killing them, and it broke him. Mm-hmm. And so, like, when people do the whole one note thing, it's like, just think about it from perspective, man. Like, letting it be your own hands that took the life.
Yeah.
And then for the gods to keep doing it. How many times do we wish that, like...
So it's one of those things where people ignored a contextual thing that explains...
I think when you're 7 games down, you start wondering, like, well, when is he going to chill about it, you know?
Yeah.
But it also has to do with the fact that, like, it wasn't... that moment started him on the path, but the gods just did not stop fucking with him, you know? Like, finding out that Zeus was his actual father, like, going through all of this, like... you were watching a man being broken mentally. Like, he literally goes to hell in every game and then has to climb himself out of it. He comes out of a grave at one point. There's a dude shoveling a grave, and Kratos comes out of it, and the dude's like, where are you coming from? He's like, from hell. Like,
that's awesome.
Like, so, but that's the past, and they could have easily gone like, this is new God of War. Let's leave it back there and let's start new. But to go like, no, let's bring the baggage.
Yeah.
The backstory's there. They want it. It's 7 games worth. But let's move on. That's super fascinating to me.
And I love the kid as a character. The kid has clearly got, like, this compassionate side. He's
a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid.
He's got this joy in him. Kratos comes from a world of Spartans.
Yeah.
If you're born with a defect, they throw you off a cliff. You know, like say what, like, I know there's mythological aspects put upon it, but like there's children trained to be soldiers and killers from day one. That was his crucible.
Yeah.
That's what he grew up in. He only knew how to be a soldier and a warrior and to take life. So he's given this second chance with this boy, and like, you see the juxtaposition just in it. Like, when he runs and he hits a tree to make the snow fall, there's this joy and exuberance to his animation, and just like
he's a huge contrast to Kratos. It's awesome that, like, it's not like Kratos being it's not one of those situations where it's like a Monsters Inc. where it's like, I gotta take care of this kid.
Oh yeah, it's a burden. Yeah.
Like, no, he cares for this kid and he's trying to learn his world.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Trying to learn from each other.
Yeah, no, like, that's literally, what's being brought up in the interviews. It's like Kratos is a god, and as a god or a demigod, he thinks rage is a disease. Like, he can recognize it as like this illness within him, and he's deathly afraid that he's passing it on to his son or whoever he think, like, because there's still some interpretation about it. Like, some people think that's Thor has red hair in classic Norse mythology, not like in the Marvel mythology. And so it's Scandinavia, and the kid knows Scandinavian. He can understand the troll. He knows ancient Norse. Kratos doesn't. He's a stranger in a strange land. So you have, like, this man who is trying to teach this boy how to be a god, while the boy is trying to teach him how to be a human again.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. Like, there's all this stuff going on. Like the voice actor is actually from Stargate Atlantis. He's the dude with like the eye.
Watch the Stargate movie that I have.
Like he has the eye thing. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Like he has like a third eye.
It's probably just it's TN to me.
Yeah.
But
so they got a new voice actor in there, and like he's talking about it too, and he's coming from like an acting point of view. He's like, I know the old Kratos. Like he's one note, you know. Like I'm familiar with the character, but they gave me the script, and I was like, whoa, hold on, what's going on here? You know, like this guy's a real dude, and he brought up something during this interview where he was just like, one thing is like, how. Like they were watching they all got quiet and they watched the scene with the deer, right? And they're like, let's just watch this because this is where it all like coalesces, you know. And they watch it, and then like the actor starts talking about it, like talking about his process while he was doing this, because I assume he's doing motion capture too, not just voice acting. Because his literal like facial structure is the same. He's got an insane jawline.
Wow.
And he's just like, yeah, like. How do you have this guy here who's trying to be a father who's never been fathered? And the director of the game goes like, holy shit, did you just make that up? And the actor was like, no, I've been thinking about it. You know, like how actors do, you know, they have to internalize these characters. And he's like, holy shit. He's like, that's fucking good. He's like, you know, and the director goes like, you just saw Kratos tear down a troll with his bare hands, almost single-handedly. He had a little help from his son, but he can't even pat his own son on the back. Like he's not strong enough to do that.
Yeah, he's not strong enough. Like
as a person, and that speaks like volumes.
In fact, the only thing he knew how to do was yell, but you could tell he doesn't feel right about it. Like, it's.
Like like you said, you're like, man, like when you were having an emotional reaction to that stuff and you were yelling at the screen, I was like, wow, something's happening here, you know? Like this all sounds very hyperbolic, but like you're not the only one, you know?
And
like
I can cut in that reaction right here, but
yeah, because you went like, dude, he's a kid. Like stop, Kratos.
Yeah.
Like
and you get as a person yelling at the screen, you get some acknowledgement.
Yeah.
In credit, you don't get like a shut up, like okay, you don't get that, but like but he
like puts his head down. You know?
He like puts his head down. He.
It's all internal.
Yeah, like clearly this kid's not afraid of getting hit. Like that's not how Kratos is.
Yeah.
Like, but you know he's at the same time. Also figure Kratos is teaching him
survival. It's survivalism.
Skills,
yeah.
Like. But
he needs to know how to kill that deer.
Yeah, so like, it's sort of Kratos learning, you know.
Yeah, it's
like, how to be human. There's no other way.
Yeah, exactly. In the past, it's screaming, it's rage, and we see a little bit of that. Like someone actually pointed this out. The HUD is very minimalistic, but when he screams the first time, his rage meter went up.
Oh.
In the past games, you had to slaughter people to do that. This is a moment where he pushes himself to the old Kratos, and he pulls himself back, and the game is acknowledging that. And then later on in the troll fight, there's a point where it's like, activate the rage, right? Like he needs to take down the troll. You press the two thumbsticks, and he's unleashed. He throws the axe. He jumps in midair, pulls the axe back. He literally does a flying shoulder charge and knocks the horn off of this thing. Like, to pull back from the narrative stuff and what they're doing with the character and what's so fascinating there, like talking about a little bit of the gameplay, people have played it. It's a little open world.
Okay.
There's crafting. There's a little bit of RPG elements. When we were seeing stuff like archery skill increased and stuff, that's not his skill.
Yeah.
It's the kid's.
Oh.
You're leveling up the kid.
That's so cool.
And there's a contextual button tied to the kid. There's one button totally dedicated to the kid, where in any situation, and you'll notice in the troll fight if you watch it again, Kratos, like, the director pressed a button, and Kratos yelled at the kid, like, shoot the arrow now. In that contextual sense, that's what the kid would do. Like, when that kid hit Kratos in the arm, the player was commanding that.
Oh.
Like, it wasn't cutscene, it wasn't QTE. It was like, the kid needs to do something. I have the troll now. Like, you can point at a puzzle and tell him to go there. And the director made a joke. He's like, we wanted to put in a chance of him like going like, no, I don't want to do that like a kid would.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll save that for the teenage years. But like, but yeah, like there's a button just for the kid, and the kid's not going anywhere, and that's super interesting to me because they're committed to this father-son journey.
Yeah.
And
it's a hell of a thing for an action game.
Yeah, for an action like that, and of course people were like, oh, I'm sick of this fucking father simulator, Walking Dead, Last of Us. I understand when you put a kid into a game. We saw a lot of kids in games this year. I don't know if you noticed. The Beyond, not Beyond, the two, what is it? Detroit.
Oh.
We're seeing a kid put into a very precarious position, and it's almost like they're doing it to try to resonate and to try to pull some emotional strings. I don't feel that way with God of War. I feel like you take that kid out and the whole game falls apart. I never feel like they're using him in a way. I feel like he's integral to it. And, the director was talking about, he's like, I came back to God of War, He left after God of War 2. He came back and he's like, it's a fresh start. And what changed? He had a kid. He had a kid in between that time. And for me, to see an artist reflect, say what you want, like every artist reflects who they are into their art. I'm not going to spoil Uncharted, but like Uncharted is a story about a treasure hunt. It's about Nathan Drake, a treasure hunter who's trying to reconcile the part of him that longs to adventure with a side of him that wants to raise a family with the woman he loves. That was a reflection of developers going like, I'm old now, I have a family, but like, I want to make AAA games, but the crunch is so hard. I don't see my kids for days on end. Like, how do I reconcile this? Do I have to become indie? Do I have to give up on my dreams? Because my dream is to make these games. But I have someone I care about at home. And so, like, they reflected that into Uncharted, and it's there, and it's the main theme. To see, like, the moment they were like, yo, this kid is a part of the game, I was like, Corey had a kid. Like, that's what happens when you have a kid. Your life changes.
Yeah.
Because you go from, like Joseph Campbell talks about it. He's a philosopher who came up with, like, the monomyth or the hero's journey. He believes that, like, every human has two lives. The life where you're born and that one ends when your first child is born. Because suddenly your heart lives outside of you, and every choice you make in the back of your head is for the kid.
This is, by the way, the type of conversation that I'm sure Ubisoft tried to stir with all their games.
Yeah.
And it never happened.
Yeah.
This is the first thing that we're talking about in the Sony conference.
Yeah. We are not even like 10 minutes into the Sony conference.
And by the way, for the sake of length, I'm just going to say this right away. I think we're going to cut Sony from the last video.
Yeah.
And then do a new intro for that video and have Sony and Nintendo in one video.
Okay.
That way we have things more evenly split out instead of having 3 in one. So.
Yeah, I apologize. It's just like, the more and more I dug into this, I was like, this is super fucking fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, like, there was another thing where it's like, it was like, why Kratos? Someone asked at a round table, and he's like, yo, we gave you Hulk. It's we're going to give you Banner. And, like, me, I'm going to admit it here. This can be fucking saved for posterity's sake. Like, I liked Ang Lee's Hulk.
Okay. I haven't watched it. I want to.
And the argument I use is, like, it was the first Hulk story I saw where it was like, why Hulk smash? You quote me on that, and it's dumb. It's silly. But that movie tried to answer that question. And I think it's an interesting question. And to see a video game to go, like, why Kratos mad?
Yeah.
Is so fascinating to me. Like, people grow up.
I mean, granted, that should not become a thing in the industry.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to copy that. I don't even know why Mario jump.
Yeah,
like,
no.
But, like, this is like some good stuff. Like,
to look at rage in a context like that, know? Like, how many players can say they haven't raged out, Like, who hasn't thrown a controller?
I just gave Irfan a weird look when he said that. But, like,
But you're telling me you never chucked a controller? You never pushed your brother?
Everybody. everybody.
Yeah,
why do you think people mentioned that when the PS3's controller, the boomerang controller, showed off?
It's gonna come back.
Oh, it's gonna come back when you throw it. Like who would throw a controller? You don't throw controllers. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. It's to take that and to tackle it in a video game.
But these are the things that help the industry grow, not into an art form necessarily. That's a whole fucking other video. Podcast, whatever. But it's we need to be able to
ask these questions,
and do them to characters that are, we thought were one way, and now they have their next chapter in their life. That's
that's the biggest thing to me. I skipped on PS2. I jumped with the God of War stuff on PS3, so I haven't been there from the beginning. God of War came out 2004, maybe the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like that. I remember talking about God of War 2 with you and Adolfo in class.
Yeah, and that was 2006, 2005, 2007.
Yeah, something like that.
We're fucking old.
Old as fuck.
But the same way we age, and I don't know if you feel the same way. I look for different things in video games. The genres I used to love back then don't have the same flavor, don't have the same taste. But to see the creators feel the same way and go a lot of people like to compare straight to Gears of War. The two gals.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Gears of War, you haven't played it. That looks like Gears of War. No one's gonna mistake that for Gears of War.
Karma.
There's no problem for that. There's no problem with that.
Yeah.
It's a new studio, it's whatever. It's the Force Awakens type of thing. Can you do the old before you do the new? God of War, it's Sony Santa Monica. Egypt was on the table for a while.
Okay, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Fights Ra.
Yeah, but he talked about how gods manifest as humans there, right? Mm-hmm. It's a human representing Ra or whatever. It's not the actual god. It's him or herself or itself. And at the same time, Egypt was a populated place. You had bazaars. You had people milling around. He wanted to tell this father-son story. Mm-hmm. It needs a little bit of the isolationism, right?
Yeah.
You get that in Scandinavia during the pre-migration, So they went with Norse. But that doesn't mean we're not going to see Thor. We're not going to see Odin. We're not going to see Loki. The axe.
Yeah, this still has to be a God of War game.
Yeah.
So it needs to feel... You need to get those epic sense of things.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a kid there.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Because there's something in the back of your head going he's learning from me.
Yeah.
Do I rip this god's head off?
And this kid is probably, you already mentioned, he's going to be doing stuff in gameplay. He won't be the, the asshole NPC.
Yeah.
That, he's like, God, fuck, stop getting killed.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that, but he's probably going to be, helpful. You're supposed to want to feel, you're supposed to be proud of him.
Yeah.
So.
But everything he's doing is a reflection of you,
Yeah.
So that makes it scary. And then I
wouldn't be surprised if you get a little Kratos at the end of this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kratos dies.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know how I'd feel if I saw that inkling of rage in him. I'd feel like a failure a little bit to let the disease go on to him.
Yeah. I think it'd be better if the series somehow found its way to keep its complexities but also be what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that opens up so many more venues for things. You can have cross religious things.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
That was an argument in the studio. They were God of War hasn't been around for a while.
Yeah.
There was that prequel one, but nobody fucking played that.
Maybe he can spare somebody. Maybe that's a big thing. He'll spare.
I'm sure that'd be a big role. You have a child staring at you.
Yeah.
And
your main thing is don't spread the disease.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to find a different way around this.
Yeah. It was an argument in the studio. It's do we do the big spectacle? Him fighting on a Titan? That's what people want. And the director went first of all, it's called God of War. Mm-hmm. It's a given. Yeah. It's coming. Mm-hmm. Anyone who was doubting that, just pay attention. You're gonna get the bloodshed. You're gonna get the over-the-top spectacle. They went in a different direction, and I think it was the direction they needed to go in. Like, because we're not the only ones having this conversation right now. There's multiple articles where people are going like, holy crap, I give a shit about God of War.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they do that?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, God of War fucking blew me away. That is the last thing I would say at a conference where fucking Zelda is being shown, you know?
Yeah, like I was interested. I was interested. I was immediately interested.
Yeah.
Based on and I remember Sony I bit my tongue. I remember Sony closing one of their E3 conferences with an announcement of God of War.
Yeah.
And like I remember that year having conversations with people. I'm like, oh yeah, God of War was announced, and they were like, holy shit, and I was like, it's just, all right, people care.
Yeah, it's like, just God. Yeah, it's just God of War. Like, before we just quickly move on, because I think I've hit all the notes, and I think people are aware how interested I am in this. Mm-hmm. Just a cool little technical detail in terms of like how important the story is. Mm-hmm. There are essentially no no cuts to black. No like classical cutscenes where you don't have camera control.
Okay.
And there's no loading screens. So I don't know if you like the God of War demo. It starts on the face. A lot of the games start on a close-up of Kratos and then pull straight out into gameplay.
Yeah.
I am assuming that it plays out exactly the same, but you will never ever like cut to black or like not see anything from the perspective of Kratos and the kid. It's essentially a one-take game.
That's really cool.
And what that means is, he brought this up, the director, Kari Barlog. You can start the game, get the axe, and chuck the axe into the ground, and play the rest of the game with just your fist. It'll be super difficult, but you can do it technically. At the end of the game, when you get to the final boss, and you're like, holy shit, this is now super hard, you can summon the axe. And like, the programmers won't like it. I'm sure you can't do this if you don't play in one playthrough, or if you start a new save, or if you reload something, but the axe should come.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't even know how they're achieving that on a technical level.
Yeah.
And this was nothing during that conference was played on a Neo. Yoshida confirmed.
Okay.
That moment when he pulled the axe was badass. I know some asshole's gonna try the axe thing.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait.
I can't wait until they purposely try to do it so that the enemy is between them and the axe.
Yeah.
So that maybe there's damage. That'd be pretty cool. But
they point out the damage on the troll was all 1-to-1. Where the axe is slicing, the decal you're seeing is 1-to-1 with the axe.
Huh. Now,
and the axe can be used for puzzles. Like, you see a box you need to pull, you throw it, and then pull the box back with the axe. Alright, but so after God of War, it became abundantly clear, like, Sony wasn't joking. Like, they're dropping trailer after trailer.
Yeah.
Wasting no time.
Sean Layden came out once after that was it, and then he spoke. He did, like I said before, he talked about the whole...
Andrew House came out, of course, to drop the Kojima bomb on our ass.
Oh, yeah, and then Kojima just went full Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, just walked out. He actually went ahead of the glowing thing.
He moves faster than light.
Moves faster than light, yeah.
But yeah, like, in terms of just like, oh, there's a guy on stage, I don't want to listen. Sony was like, fuck that, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So next was Last Guardian. It's coming out this October.
Yeah.
It's one of my most anticipated games. It was one of the dream games from last year.
Yeah, I mean, I guys can't believe it. I guess.
Yeah.
That's really like.
It's definitely going to be one of those like, not real until I hold it, not real until I install it, not real until I press start and start the game. But that's right around the corner, and I'm super psyched.
And you realize you don't have a PS4. You're just like,
yeah,
what happened?
Yeah, like I wasted too much time.
I'm living a dream. It just got announced.
Yeah, it's back in 2009. I was like, wait, why does it come out like 10 years later? Next was like a gameplay clip of like, I think what was like a big surprise for a lot of people last year was Horizon Zero Dawn, showing a lot more of the RPG stuff, like clearly not shying away from like, yo, this is an action RPG. Like, it's got crafting. It's got fucking straight up like dialogue tree. Like, you're talking to NPCs.
Yeah.
The dialogue stuff we thought was a little wonky. It does feel like they just added that.
Yeah.
Just to like say like, yeah, this is legit.
Yeah, I found the animations weird, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oddly enough, the actual presence of it wasn't offending me.
Yeah.
Because usually I don't like those sort of dialogue tree sort of things. But like, it felt like this was like the dialogue system somehow, was in the same vein as all the other gameplay. It was just open-ended sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like one of those games where, like, I got this like love-hate thing with Guerrilla where it's like the games look so fucking good, like just technical like powerhouses.
The Killzone guys, right?
Killzone guys, and I don't even think they've ever done anything other than first-person shooters. They might have done one more thing before Killzone, but it was probably a shooter, and like they came out with this thing.
It's sort of jaw-dropping.
It's so unique, and like. I guess when we get to Zelda, we'll talk about that stuff because it's happening for some reason.
At that point,
you said
I was even saying like,
yo,
I was like, this reminds me of Zelda. Like, and I haven't even seen the game yet.
Yeah.
Like,
you haven't even seen Zelda.
That was all from like
photos.
Like photos, and I remember, people saying like he has like a hunter-gatherer thing going on. I'm like, and all of a sudden that was in my head. So like, I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, wow, this
Link could just run right past this.
Yeah, like, or Kratos, because Kratos seems like the hunter-gatherer thing being a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like in this gen, I would say.
Yeah, the survival.
Yeah, Lara Croft, like all that stuff is crazy.
Yeah. Teaching us to get ready for the impending apocalypse.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
You guys have to know how to kill a deer. I'm telling you, do it now.
Yeah. Because I can tell you this much: he doesn't know how to. Like. And
we have to feed the beast.
No, we don't have to feed him.
But yeah, like you were like, was that the one where you're like, "Oh, is this Xenoblade Chronicles X," or was that a different one?
I feel like I referenced it the year before when they showed it off. I actually remember.
You dropped Xenoblade this year too on something.
Yeah, I feel like I did. I don't know on what. I do remember for this, I was mentioning because I think you had pointed out that like. One of the things was more robotic than the other things, and I was wondering if it was
the scorpion thing.
Yeah, and I was wondering if it was maybe something like the Borg, where they're seeking a perfection where they don't consider something that's all robotic or all all organic to be perfect. It has to be like a balance.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm wondering if that does play a role in this, because obviously. Like, to us, that's a completely alien concept. Unless they're like Transformers, where it's like organic robots, and that doesn't make any sense to us. Something happens.
Yeah.
Like.
There's so many fascinating questions.
Yeah.
Like, it's 1,000 years in the future.
Can I gain leverage? Like. Yeah, this game looks like Battlefield Earth a little bit.
Yeah, they gotta comb their hair. Like it's 100 years in the future. It's definitely Earth, but they're not saying where on Earth. Mm-hmm. And like, I know you have an issue. You're not the only one. Like about how talkative Aloy or whatever her name is. Mm-hmm. Kyle Bosman from Easy Allies, formerly Game Trailers. Mm-hmm. Final Bosman, check it out. I don't get paid for any of this. He said the actual demo, she's not that talkative.
Okay, good.
So to me, it's just a cool way to narrate the demo without some guy with a thick accent narrating the demo. I guess. And I'm totally fine with that. I prefer that way more.
I guess.
Because it was gratuitous. I agreed with you when she was like, 2 firebombs coming right up.
The only problem is the fact that I'm then associating that with Sonic the Hedgehog. Where like Sonic would go like, gotta go fast. Like I'm getting these like one-liner things, which is stupid. It doesn't work in any place but Sonic. I once saw a wrestler say like, here I go, and do his finishing move, and some guy in the front row goes like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, that was my finisher. And he's like, shut up. like because it doesn't work in anything but that context.
Like, so no one ever calls out their attacks and fighting. When I do Hadoukens, I do give a heads up though.
Okay, yeah, but
just
like,
in case.
You got to be, it's a safety thing. Yeah. Like saying 4 in golf. But yeah, it was that was annoying. I will say, it is better than some guy that probably doesn't know how to speak to me. like speaking.
No, it serves its purpose where it's just like, why are they in a menu right now? What is she doing? Oh, okay, fire button. Okay, whatever. But like, I'm super glad, and I assumed that it wasn't going to be the same case in the game, like the final game. And I just want to know, like, so like when you play Uncharted, it's not an issue. Like you think like you just find it like more palatable.
So recently I beat Uncharted 3.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even expecting to.
Yeah.
It literally ended before I thought it would.
Yeah.
And I remember there was something that I kept on doing as Nathan Drake, and he kept on repeating the same exact line.
Oh, yeah.
And it pissed me off.
Yeah, he does that in 4. Whenever he gets wet, he goes, "Oh, refreshing."
Yeah, like
Oh, that's refreshing.
It's a thing that pisses me off. I understand, like, it almost always says a fourth wall breaking thing, which I'm not against.
Yeah.
But, like, either you have a large sound bank or make sure that this shit is pretty rare.
Yeah.
Like, there shouldn't be a lot of examples where, like, the person's just having a full-on conversation with themselves.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, it's a little pet peeve that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll make sure to narrate over this. So after Horizon, which is coming out this February, another early 2017. Next one was something that also surprised me. Quantic Dream's adventure game, Detroit Becomes Human.
It was a game that they made that looks interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just a really good trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Because people's impressions are like, it's a fucking David Cage game. Like, it is still the same shit.
Yeah.
But goddamn did that trailer work for me.
It's a good trailer. It had...
like the Blade Runner vibe.
Yeah, and it also had a... I always find it cool when... They're probably not hiding any sort of technical issues, but it is cool when you have an explanation for the Uncanny Valley thing by saying, like, he's an android.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm like, that's kind of cool, because, like, instead of not getting a human right, they got that perfect. like
I would love if the way it worked was like...
Didn't I say that, like, they talk like old video game voice acting?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Like, the way I would love for it to have happened was, like, David Cage wrote this script, you know, by himself, and like they have to bring in actors, and they send out some sides to these actors, and the first question one of the actors asks is like, so I'm playing an android in this, correct? And they were like, that's not how it was written. And then like David Cage is like, yes, android, and then like he just goes and starts changing things. It's like, this will make it much easier.
It's like, this guy's an android too.
Yeah, everyone is android.
Yeah,
that explains how they talk and emote.
Yes. Saves money on animation budget.
Saves money on me rewriting the whole thing or hiring someone who knows how to write. But yeah, like it was announced before, but it had a different protagonist. It had this female protagonist. And so it was throwing me off a little bit. I was like, man, did they rework everything? But it's dual protagonists.
Yeah, I read that.
And so that's interesting to me. And
which is amazing, because I don't even know where I read it.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's one of those games where, like, you fail and the game continues. Like, if he falls off that thing or he gets shot or whatever, like, the game continues. You just play as the other protagonist.
That's cool.
Like, that's how Heavy Rain worked. Like, there's 4 there, you lose, you fuck up, and it continues. Like, you have to deal with the consequences of that. And so, like, that's super interesting to me. The setting is really cool. It's just... like, Cage has got me with this one, and I'm just a little worried. Because he gets closer with each one. Like, the Ellen Page one was like, oh, okay, Ellen Page, Willem Dafoe.
Did that come out?
Yeah.
What was it?
Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, with the cop that gorgeous too.
Yeah.
I actually have some screen grabs from it just because I'm like, this is gorgeous.
Yeah. Like with the cop that looked like Louis C.K.
Yeah.
It got ported to PS4, I think.
Oh.
So it looks even like better.
I wouldn't mind trying that out because it looked fascinating.
Yeah. There's a demo.
There is a demo.
Yeah.
On PS4.
On PS3.
On PS3.
Yeah.
I might have to download that after I put a new hard drive in. I only have a 40 gig hard drive.
Yeah, it's like 200 gigs.
And Destiny's on that hard drive, the beta or whatever. I haven't played it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I can say. Like that I don't know, that fucking diagram that was showing like every choice and how it can play out. That was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
The detective stuff is always cool in games for me. I don't know, and like it just like it looked fucking good. Like and the Android stuff covers up all the Uncanny Valley stuff.
So it's there you go.
Yeah.
So
bada bing, bada boom.
3 strikes, not 3 strikes, 3 home runs.
So the next thing was. Right off the bat, it's like, yo, is this PT?
Yeah.
Did Sony lock down PT?
Mm.
And at the end of it...
And did we ever figure out if... Because I know that when they had the messages at the beginning, and it faded out, like, at least in the second message, a T lingered.
Yeah.
And I think before that they said, like, PlayStation something. Yeah. I'm sure the P probably lingered.
Yeah.
As, like, a little...
Where to, like...
Little wink.
Yeah.
But
it was Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Biohazard.
Yeah.
And
wait, I didn't even catch that. Is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard?
Yeah.
So they're using the Japanese name as a sub.
Yeah.
Did they reverse it?
Yes. On Steam it goes Resident Evil 7 Biohazard / Biohazard Resident Evil 7.
That's awesome.
That logo is phenomenal though. The 7 in the name.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it also works in Japan. Like, it's also in the Z.
Oh.
Like, it's like, they put more work into the fucking logo than, like, most other studios do in their entire games. But,
that's another fantastic thing, the Resident Evil series. You know, like...
Yeah,
that,
how do you mix that up? How do you...
Like, I mean... 4 mixed it up, and then I heard they didn't make a good one since.
Yeah.
So that was a one-time thing.
No, there's definitely blowback where it's like, you guys said back to roots. Where the fuck's the tank controls? Where's the third person?
Yeah,
I think they meant back to roots like, yeah, it's scary. It's not a fucking action game anymore.
Yeah.
Clearly got the PT vibe, but they keep claiming like, yo, we were working on this before PT.
Do they have a 3D? Third person view too?
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm not crazy about it being first. I don't generally like first person games, but but still,
yeah.
You know, they're doing the scary vibe, and I think they're actually gonna hit it as opposed to most things that claim to be scary.
Yeah, like actually, some people said they did not find it as scary as PT. Like they felt like PT was more like disturbing.
I mean, we'll have to ask Kyle when it comes out. Because Kyle, lost his shit when he played PT.
Yeah, well, actually, they announced a Resident Evil 7 demo that night. You could download it, you could check it out.
Oh.
That demo is not in the game.
Okay.
It's just a special thing. Yeah. So it's even hard to say like, oh man, like this wasn't that great. I won't like the final game. It's just a little taste of it. Mm-hmm. They haven't said if it's like one that like you'll be playing as like Leon or anyone. It might be someone new. That doesn't mean those characters won't appear. I don't know where it takes place.
Is it at all an action game? Is there shooting? I mean, not an
the
action
trailer
game,
showed a guy. I don't remember. Like I didn't rewatch it. The guy had like a pipe and a gun. So there's something there.
Okay.
But like it was designed first person first. So it's Xbox One, PC, and PS4, but PS4 is the only one with VR support.
Okay.
And the game is designed in a way where you can just like, if the VR is too much, you just take it off, you go straight into 2D.
Okay.
There's no like playing around with shit. But you're not playing with move controllers, you're playing with the DualShock.
Okay.
So I don't know, like I'm worried about like if they're going for the hybrid, that's not gonna be good either way. You know what happens when you go halfway on two things.
Yeah.
But
interestingly, a lot of people don't seem to observe that trend.
Yeah.
They always think like you put it together and you get the benefit of both.
Yeah.
Not the.
No, you also take the weaknesses of both.
Yeah.
You have to take the strengths and make the strength of one cover up the weakness of the other. Yeah, like you don't.
It's difficult.
Yeah, like that's not how peanut butter and chocolate came together.
I still have yet to have peanut butter and chocolate.
You've never had
besides the Reese's Pieces, but I mean like a sandwich.
Oh, okay.
Like, because like I had peanut butter and jelly back in the day. Not a fan of
old
jelly.
Yeah, jelly's too messy.
But if somebody told me, like, hey, you could put chocolate on there, you fucking blow my mind. You're saying a Reese's sandwich? Holy shit.
Like, I haven't played the demo, probably never will, because I can't handle that shit. But it's cool. It's always cool for, like, see an old franchise take a new direction. And the reveal worked. Like, I think I, like, guessed it halfway through just because of the rumor.
Okay.
But I was like, it's Resident Evil 8. That's how much I know about Resident Evil. But it's cool. One of the worst things about PT's disappearance or whatever, or failure to become anything, was like, I felt so bad for Silent Hill guys. Like, Silent Hill guys were so happy, you know? Like, they were getting Silent Hill back, and people were excited, and for like 10 minutes on the internet, no one knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fucking secret, and that doesn't happen this day and age.
Nope.
So...
And now most people can't even play it. Well, at least a lot of people can't even play it because of fucking...
Yeah, because Konami's killing it.
They're killing themselves.
But speaking of Konami...
were they present at all at E3?
No, they fucking probably, like, open up a new casino or something.
Oh, yeah, they're doing, like, smartphone... What's happening to Castlevania? And stuff like that. They're not doing that anymore?
It's a pachinko machine. Like, Dude, everything is gambling now. Everything's pachinko.
Sell off the fucking thing. Just sell off those.
Yeah, let fucking real people make those games. Yeah. Dude, they remade the ending of Metal Gear Solid 3 with the Fox engine for a pachinko machine.
You have the Fox engine. What the fuck?
Okay, so this is when I think Layden came back and was like, yo, we're just gonna hit you with VR for a little while. Like, he confirmed, like, it's coming out October, which wasn't known at that point. And he just left again, and we got hit by montage. The first one was an original thing called Farpoint, which is a first-person shooter. Later on in the week, it turned out, like, they've made a new move, like, gun for it.
Okay.
But, like, the move stuff is integrated into it. It's not detachable like the one for PS3.
Okay.
And, like, it's supposed to be 1-to-1, and, like, that's how that game is designed to be played.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, there's a lot of times when, like, when you say, like, when something's an accessory, it doesn't sell well, but if you've already spent $400, you're gonna do this.
Yeah, like, you don't stop after $400, $500.
Yeah, you don't go, like, another $50. No, you don't do that.
After that, we saw what's going to be, like, I think it's going to be, like, DLC for FF15, but it's VR.
Yeah.
That got very, very bad, like, reactions from people.
Yeah.
Like,
they said it doesn't feel like Final Fantasy, and I can understand that.
Some people said, like, it was, like, someone doing VR for the first time. They were like, what do you do in VR? You can shoot things? It's like, oh, put a gun in his hand.
Yeah,
like,
it's Prompto's crossbow training.
Yeah,
like,
you shoot at a fucking behemoth or whatever it is, or Bahamut. No, it's not Bahamut.
Behemoth.
It's a behemoth.
Yeah.
You shoot at that for a little while, and then it ends, and fucking, you're sitting in a car with Sydney or whatever, the girl.
Yeah, I think it was Sydney.
Yeah. So people who were there noticed. So there was like some guys from Kotaku were in line, and they noticed how every single guy who got to that part started leaning over and really, like, ogling this virtual character, right?
She's hot. I'll give him that. She's hot.
Dude, Patrick Klepek said one guy got down on his knees and tried to, like, look under the hood, if I can use a euphemism.
Wow. Wow.
So, like, this was happening, and it started making me think, like, why didn't Naughty America have one guy run over, stand by the exit line with, like, shitty, like, flyers and just go, like, Naughty America booth down at down at booth 169. Naughty America booth down at 169. No, I just, it would have been brilliant. It would have been brilliant.
Yeah, it would have been.
But I was like, that guy should have been there just funneling people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that, like...
You wanted a girl Link? We got girl Link.
It's weird because, like, these things are experiences. Like, that's probably gonna be free DLC. Like, the Star Wars X-Wing thing, anyone who owns Battlefront gets that for free, you know? It's not a full-fledged game. Like, Arkham VR which also got like mixed reactions. Like that maxes out like an hour and a half. You know, these aren't. So it's tough. You know,
putting things out there for free to showcase the technology is helping put that cost to entry down. Like, so
like it comes with like, you know, like it's not Wii Sports, but like it comes with like VR World, just like a collection of games, experiences. Like I think every headset comes with that.
So that's good. They're acknowledging that there's like you need to be, you know, forthright with this. I'm still not myself convinced that something like this is gonna take off and be like the next big thing. I think it's gonna take like 5-6 years maybe to become, you know, a thing that, you know, you can talk to a friend about your VR experience and be like, oh yeah, me too, you know.
So like
but I said I would keep that for another video.
But just a quick question before we get stuck on this. Are you skeptical of the actual technology or its adoption rate? Adoption rate. But you think like
I actually don't even know why this technology is that expensive. I still can't figure that out.
But like, do you need VR to get to the Matrix glasses, or what would it take you to like commit to it?
It's not even that I'm against VR. I'm just against the notion that it's going to be
ubiquitous.
Like that it's gonna replace current methods of doing that.
I don't think it'll ever.
I don't think it can. I don't think nothing will be as cheap and as accessible as buttons. Like it's. But I do think it's gonna find its place for just experiences. You know, it's.
Like there are full, like Resident Evil 7 is a full fucking game.
A full
like
fucking
you
game.
can
That's
play...
amazing to me. That a large franchise would
commit
put so much money, because like they have to have their financials like really in order, because like it's a huge risk on their part. Like they're putting, you know, if you don't have a PS4, you're looking at sinking $700 into this experience, which might make you throw up.
So like after the VR stuff, it got a little confusing because we assumed the next part was also VR. It was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. That wasn't VR at all. That would have been fucking beautiful.
It did feel like it was on rails.
At some points. But like, God, like I said, man, like
these COD games are making themselves look pretty damn good.
Like there was that Advanced Warfare one where it's like, okay, like when the dude's arm comes off. But this one I was like, yo.
Like this one fucking crazy.
Like and so
they might not. I at this point I actually wouldn't look at them as a company that like I wouldn't give a Star Wars property to. I think they can come with some unique stuff.
They got 3 fucking studios. And I think this game is the second game that's a result of a 3 or 2 year development cycle. Because now it goes like Treyarch, Raven, Infinity Ward. So that gives them 2 years instead of 1 year to whip up a game. So like it seems like they're taking advantage of that. And with this one, so you've got this like huge dichotomy, right? Like Battlefield 1 went all the way back, right? And like Infinity Warfare is going all the way to the other end of the spectrum. And you got COD guys going like, I fucking hate jetpacks. Because they can't jump and shoot at the same time. They're not that dexterous. Like, there's been pushback about this futuristic stuff from the moment it entered. That doesn't stop the games from fucking selling like hotcakes. But like they feel like Infinite Warfare has gone too far in that direction. I think it looks rad as fuck. I think it's exactly what the series needs to mix it up. And people need to remember, you're getting your holy grail with it. You're getting COD 4 remastered, 10 multiplayer maps, full campaign. Actually, it turns out the PlayStation version, players get to play the campaign 30 days early. That's fucking huge. They're using that Activision money, you know? Like, I don't know when's the last time where I was like, yo, I was impressed by that fucking COD presentation during the conference. I didn't tune out.
What would be when the last COD game came out, or rather, the last COD game was announced with the arm being ripped off.
Like it's fucking rad, and like if my brother gets it, like, I want to play. I want to play that campaign. I want to.
I love that line of thinking. Like, if my brother gets it, like.
Yeah, like he's the one who's got the interest. What came next almost got people drenched. If you weren't like wet already, you were almost drenched. The curtain went up, and the Crash Bandicoot music started playing. And Sean Layden came out with the Shadow of Crash Bandicoot, and announced Crash is being remastered. Which actually it's not a remaster, it's a remake. It's from the ground up, it's new code.
Okay, good, because I think I was thinking that from the get-go, but
it's very iffy in terms of rights, because it's clearly still Activision's.
Yeah.
Activision has hired a team called Vicarious Visions. They made some Crash GBA games, which apparently were like super good, and like.
Is it even coming? Is it exclusive to PS4? Or is
that's what's so weird about it, because it's new code.
Yeah.
It's their code.
Yeah.
They can put it wherever they want. Will Sony pay to keep Crash, the classic Crashes, on their console? I don't know. But we got to see him in Skylanders, and suddenly people are interested in Skylanders. They're like, this is actually pretty cool. And Crash looked awesome in Skylanders. I wouldn't mind that interpretation of him in the remakes.
That's PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Skylanders thing?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Like, does the Skylander have to be made differently to?
Dude, Skylanders is a game where you can play as Spyro, Crash, and Bowser.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking weird.
I know that, but like, I didn't even think about this with the Wii U things. Like, like, can you place Bowser on the other consoles? Like, the thing exists, like, and that means only a few of them have.
No, I'm pretty sure that was exclusive, the Wii U one.
So this probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's Crash. They have no fucking ownership of Crash.
Yeah, they don't have ownership.
Like, everybody thinks that's a thing, but no, it's
not. It's all Activision. Yeah, that was weird. It's clear that the remakes are to gauge interest in, like, before they fucking, like, hey, Naughty Dog, go make a new Crash. Which is fair, you know?
Yeah.
Just because it's a vocal voice, that doesn't mean it's not a minority, you know?
Yeah.
A minority that's not gonna fucking actually pay for a game. And then, okay, we talked about this a little bit before. Andrew House came out. I was like, yo, I paid a lot of money, but here's Kojima. And in the last 6 months, he fucking whipped up a little appetizer for what he's working on. And
I mean, I think he had that model already.
Yeah.
Already made.
Yeah, for PT.
Oh, no, I meant the just naked Daryl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they shot that in March. Like, he did the motion capture in March.
Was he naked?
Yeah. I don't know if it was his body.
Oh, okay.
But, like, did the motion capture, whipped this up. Sony's clearly, like, we're going to show off Kojima. Like, Kojima's not going back into a cage like at Konami.
Yeah.
But, whatever he's working on is incredibly weird, but incredibly intriguing at the same time.
Yeah. That's something that, gotta give it to Sony. They don't back away from that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they got Kojima. It's not exactly like a new,
you
know, like a Risk or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's what Sony does well. They got like we've said it before, the European art film thing.
Yeah, the weird Lynchian.
Yeah,
like ads and shit.
So this is right up their alley.
Yeah, like they're not gonna back off from like USB umbilical cord babies and dead whales.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, it's all leading to something. Like, he is teasing something about Death Stranding. Like, I don't even know if that's the fucking name. This dude tried to trick us into thinking MGS5 was called a Phantom Pain only. Like, this guy does not fuck around. But he said there are a lot of clues in there. Like, you know, some people are interpreting it as like it's his career, you know, like he's Norman Reedus. He was handcuffed at Konami. They took off the handcuff, and like, there's all these ways to interpret it. I love it. I love every time a Kojima thing comes out where people are like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? But wait, it makes sense in a fucked up roundabout way.
You wouldn't even think of it looking at him. Like, he just looks like a guy who, like, you know, he looks like a Sony fan that, like, you know, he just wants to, you know, I'm trying to do a thing here. He's trying to work at, some tech website review headphones and Zunes and shit. Not Zunes, but some Sony equivalent.
Yeah, like
to a Zune.
Like here's a dude who comes out and is like, "Yo, watch this shit and try not to like scratch your head." Yeah. And then like there's pictures of him at E3 doing the Resident Evil 7 demo, and it's just him with his mouth agape, like, "Whoa, I'm really scared." And there's another like Ace Attorney thing where he's doing the whole objection thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like, where the fuck does this dude come up with the dead will thing when he's like having so much fun?
Yeah, like.
But he's a fascinating creature, and it's so cool to see him like not resting, like not like he's free and he's just fucking going at it. Like he wants to make this action game, and he said like he wants to change the way we approach death in games. I wonder if he's gonna pull some shit where like when you die you just load up as a brand new character in a whole like almost an entirely different game.
Do you need a new actor? Just keep on paying for the likeness of actors.
You could do the whole like Redis, but like you change the
Adam
look.
Sandler now.
I'm in the do-over. I'm in the ridiculous 6. After that was another thing that sort of leaked, but it was so satisfying to see. Insomniac hitting us with that Spidey Man.
Oh, okay.
Which looked like
controllable.
Like, dude, when he's crashing through that Daily Bugle. I was like, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Just to go off on a little tangent about this, I don't know if I talked to you about this in the past, but like how the one place where Marvel was failing was like the game scene. I almost feel like they pulled back and they went straight to PC and mobile. They're coming back with a vengeance. Like they essentially are going to do their own, like it's the Marvel game universe. It's not tied to the cinematic universe. They have plans for a lot of games. They have plans for more Spidey games. They're thinking about crossovers, but this isn't about like cashing in. One of the mandates is like this new Spidey game. Yeah, his costume looks similar to the Civil War one, but they are not rushing to get it out on time with Civil War. If it does, that's a fine coincidence. That's free synergy. That's free marketing. But like,
the next Spider-Man. You said Civil War, which came out already.
Oh, okay. Next Spider-Man. Oh, you're from the future. Like the mandate is like, we know developers can no longer do this movie schedule coincide thing. Like you need to give them time. You need to give them support. You need to give them money, and that's what they're focused on right now. Like that's why they went with Insomniac. The VP of this group is like, I can tell in 10 minutes when a guy...
You know what that just reminded me of? Remember when they were showing off the PS3 back in like 2006, 2007 or something like that? And they were showing a Spider-Man swing and they're like, this is the model from the movie.
Yeah,
right?
Like Alfred Molina and shit.
Yeah, I think there was an Alfred Molina, but they had a Spidey. And I was like, this is bullshit. Like,
this is straight
complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, because I was just thinking, I'm like, yeah, imagine if they could share assets. And I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, they're the age of Marvel or ignoring the console space and not bringing us like AAA Arkham style games is over. Like they're going all in. They want to find the right partners, the right developers.
The Thor game would be fun.
Dude, fucking Iron Man.
Oh, I mean, I have some pretty.
And the fact,
I remember the last one.
And the fact that like they're not tied to anything else means that like X-Men's part of the fucking stable, you know, like X-Men's there, Fantastic Four is there, so like that's super rad, and it's something I've been waiting for so long.
And it means that they can do crossover stuff. I remember going. You and I are both fans of Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, dude, like...
And Daredevil shows up very early on.
He does?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You only play the demo, that's right.
I only play the demo.
Yeah, I want to say, almost right after the demo area ends, friggin' Daredevil shows up on one of the rooftops and talks to you.
Dude, Daredevil Spidey team-up game, people will lose their shit.
Oh my god, it was... Yeah.
Yeah, like...
And you don't have to be limited to you don't have to be limited to the TV show too. So it could be the Daredevil you saw in the comics.
Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
It's super cool. They're doing this with Sony just because it makes sense, right? Spider-Man's the perfect one to start with. There's Indian Spider-Man that wears pajama pants. Everyone loves Spider-Man. So they went with him first. I think it's staying Sony exclusive just because of like the way the rights work, you know. But I don't think they're locked to Sony. That wouldn't make any sense if they really want to make money and really expand this Marvel game universe. But I'm so fucking psyched. I can't wait for what else they announce. And I hope they go to town with the costumes in that game.
Yes.
Like, you know, it was something we were talking about before.
I want to play that game again. The PS1 game.
So after that, they showed a little bit of Lego Star Wars, and then we're like, yo, the demo's out exclusively. And then it ended with gameplay from Days Gone.
Yes.
Days Gone was revealed earlier with a trailer, and then later was like, we'll show you gameplay. And the way the Giant Bomb guys sort of like describe it is like, they just want the hook. Like, what makes this different than Last of Us? Like, what makes this different than Walking Dead? I'm right there with them. I don't know what the hook is. Like, the biker gang meets Walking Dead thing is cool. Yeah. But I didn't expect it to be so serious. I sort of expected it to be arcadey, like more road rash with zombies.
Okay.
But this is like taking a page out of like Last of Us's book.
It's a good demo.
Very good demo. Wanted to bring this up because I was like, yo, how the fuck are they doing the horde? And you were like, probably LOD tricks. They confirmed not LOD.
Whoa.
There are actually that many characters on screen.
Holy shit.
Which at that point it's like, if that game fails, doesn't fucking that tech needs to continue to exist.
Yeah, you gotta do like a Lord of the Rings game with like a shit ton
oh
of,
my
like,
god, holy fuck.
Like
the issue with the demo was just like he wasn't getting hurt, and like it felt like God mode, and like it felt a little rehearsed. There's extended version, things play out differently. There's more melee stuff. He takes a different path through the lumber yard. It is like a full-blown open world type, like you're scavenging, you're building shit, you're looking for like materials and stuff.
So it's it's a lot like Dying Light. It's just not first person.
And
it has more of a horde.
Dying Light has the whole like it switches to night and the zombies become super powerful shit. I don't know.
I never even got to the night in the demo that I was playing.
Like it's interesting, but I'm right there. Like what's separating you from the rest other than the horde mode stuff? And that doesn't mean I don't want to see more of it.
Yeah.
But
as of this moment, there's not like a whole lot making you go like.
Click pre-order.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fucking horde shit. If they're not lying about that, that's insane on a pure technical level. Like not running on Neo.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, I'll have to take a look at the environments again. Maybe the environments, because it was like 2 barns or something.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe the environments were pretty
sparse,
simplistic, so they were able to do that sort of stuff. Like, but
even animating that.
Yeah, it's a lot of animation stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot
you got
of
people stumbling and pulling over each other. So yeah, I just thought that was a super cool, interesting detail. Before we move on to...
I feel like we took longer talking about Sony's conference, and it was a shorter thing than Ubisoft and EA's. And but...
Before we move on, I was just going to point out some stuff I expected to see and I hadn't seen until then. I hadn't seen at all. I thought Ubi would bring up Beyond Good and Evil 2. I think Eve said, like, it's still a thing, it's going to happen.
Okay.
That guy, actually, Michel Ancel, he has another game. I think it's called Wild. It was like a PS4 exclusive. Do you remember it? It was like PSX. You possess different animals. Like, I actually think it looks fucking... Like, I'm more excited for that than Beyond Good and Evil 2. I was hoping to see more of that.
I only just recently played a little bit of Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's...
What'd you think?
It's pretty damn good.
Do you have camera issues?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's only that fucking HD port or whatever.
Oh.
You're not playing HD port, right?
No, I'm not. I was playing the GameCube version.
I expect to see Destiny because we've seen Destiny at every single PlayStation thing since its announcement. They have a new expansion pack. They sent people there.
There's only so many times I need to watch somebody go off slowly into space.
Yeah. it's so odd. They announced it a week before. They announced the new expansion a week before E3. They didn't even bring it to E3. They have dudes there doing interviews, and they're not saying anything. Super odd. It feels like a contractual obligation thing. And if they did that, I was expecting a little bit of a Destiny 2 tease. That didn't happen. I would have liked to see Ni no Kuni 2, but that looks like a TGS game.
Okay, Ni no Kuni 2.
FF7 Remake could be a TGS game. I have
not played very much of Ni no Kuni. I enjoyed what I played of it, but it just... I don't know. I play my PS3. It's very fucking loud.
Yeah, I expect a little FF7 remake. That could be TGS.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, I think, is confirmed. Like, it's going to be a post-FF15 thing.
We were also expecting FF12 remake. But that thing needs a bit more time. That needs more time.
Yeah.
That doesn't look good.
Yeah, maybe, it doesn't need to be on a big screen. Shenmue 3 would have been nice, too. Just to see Suzuki, what he took. He took our money and he ran away and he's not showing
because I want to... I want to see that doesn't feel like somebody, like some fans did like a model swap and shader swap and texture swap with Shenmue for Dreamcast, and all the animations and dialogue of this, because like that feels really weird, like what was the footage that we saw of Shenmue so far. Like, so I want to see like a bit more in the way of like...
Yeah, I want to see what a year's worth of development gets us, and what like all our hard-earned money gets us. But I'm pretty sure he gave it to the Yakuza. And then I know this is a little odd just because the game just came out, but like Naughty Dog has said that they will be making the first story DLC for Uncharted, and and so I was hoping for a little tease of that. Maybe they didn't want to spoil it for people who haven't played it yet, but that would have been pretty rad. That's the stuff I missed. Was there anything you expecting didn't get, other than all of Nintendo stuff?
In Sony's conference, no, not really. I mean, they told us ahead of time no Neo. One thing that they did spectacularly is and everybody's talking about like, what's Sony gonna do now that Scorpio's announced? Turns out, fucking completely ignore it and still be better.
It's still be
like, what the hell? Like, that's awesome. That gives a lot of credence. That gives me hope that, that people haven't completely forgot about the fact that, games do matter more.
Yeah, we're mid-gen and it's time to start seeing games.
Yeah.
We're going to see them in February, hopefully.
I mean, this is like, it really is taking a long time.
Yeah. No, it is mid-gen.
It was, right before dinner, my brother was like, for example, he's like, name an early gen game for this. I'm like, early gen? What? I don't think there was any. Like,
for what?
For just the PS4 and Xbox One and whatnot.
That was like just in general.
Yeah, just like
you couldn't name one.
I just couldn't think of one. Eventually, I think I remembered Titanfall, but I was like,
I don't even think that was launched.
Because I remember, what the thing is, me not owning the platforms, all I can think of is what was being announced at E3.
What was being...
And the same shit was never coming out.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, I don't know what the fuck is out. And I'm like, some remasters? Like...
ports.
Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, ports are still happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. But Sony, after their show, was like, okay, there's stuff for that console that looks good that I want to play.
Yeah.
This gen might start soon.
Yeah. Preferably before new hardware comes out.
Yeah, preferably before the Neo.
But maybe not.
Yeah. Who the fuck knows?
This is the gen that never was.
That's what it feels like. That's a perfect way to describe it.
Like,
they were gonna be like, you remember 8th gen? No.
It's like,
I remember 360. I remember Scorpio. What was in between?
Like
the one. I remember the one. Bill Gates on the Rock. No, the one. Yeah, Halo Combat Evolved. No, the Xbox One.
What's blowing my mind here? I remember when, like, before we knew the Neo and the Scorpion and all this talk.
Scorpion.
Yes. Scorpion is just Ed Boon is the.
They just changed Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo just is like, we're the Sub-Zero.
Like Cortana now has a new voice. It's Ed Boon, but and it yells at you all the time. But like, I remember people wondering, they're like, you know, NX definitively Nintendo's next thing, makes it a 9th gen thing, right?
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the 8th gen, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're coming out with it mainly because the Wii U does not have the longevity in it.
Yeah.
It's coming out and they're like, that's weird. Like, so we could expect that might even be a thing where like their 10th gen thing
starts
like
when the other 9th gen.
9th.
Yeah.
And then this is happening, and it's not supposed to be a generational leap.
Yeah.
But the performance is right. Like.
So that means NX is 9.
Yeah.
Neo and Scorpio is still 8.
Yeah, they're still 8.
Yeah.
But effectively, you're gonna be looking at it if games don't come out, like if significant games don't come out for the Xbox One and PS4 like in droves, then you have the Wii U was the one that nobody bought, and then the PS4 and the Xbox One were the ones that sold better than the previous things at that point in the lifespan.
Yeah.
No games, you know, it's hyperbole, but no games came out for them until they're like,
new gen started.
So it's literally like these things don't matter.
Yeah, none of it matters. Like no one's.
It's really weird.
Playing by the rules anymore, and I blame Phil Spencer. But that's it for the Sony conference.
Yeah.
We still got
technically the last conference.
Yeah. That was the last conference. We're done. There's nothing else to talk about.
I don't even know.
This E3 is over.
Yes. I'm ignoring that because everybody ignores Nintendo. I actually saw a picture before. A picture I was showing you of the thing saying like, you know, Xbox fans, and it's a bunch of kids, and it's like, you know, PC fans, and it's a guy with a lot of butts in his underwear making a PC, and then it says or Sony fans, and it's, you know, a bunch of shirtless dudes, and I was like, Nintendo's not even in there. They didn't even get insulted.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I was like, dude, does the image scroll down?
Or do you have
to download?
I even at one point, because I think I first saw it on my phone, I was like, went to scroll. I'm like, oh, that's it. Like, people just don't even talk about it. Like, everybody talks about like the Titans, which are, you know, Xbox and PlayStation,
and
you know,
Jaguar
fighting it out, and then like
the
you
little
know,
kid
Nintendo's
in the middle.
like, hi.
Yeah.
Like,
2 Goliaths and a David.
Yeah, and a David.
That's the movie version of that's what they're gonna talk about 8th gen when they make the documentary.
Wow, you know how happy Nintendo would be to hear that.
Yeah. But you know what, like, we're gonna get to the big mamma jamma. Don't worry about it, all right? The big one, the one that everyone was running for. You saw the GIF. You saw the video. That wasn't CGI.
What GIF?
All the fat people running to play Zelda.
I didn't see it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see that?
I literally have not seen any of that.
I sent it to you.
I didn't.
But that's it for Sony. We're gonna see you next time.
Yeah.